Hi folks, well it's been a while since I've done a remodeling project, and I should have started videotaping this when I started the project, but you know, you get tunnel vision sometimes. This is our main bathroom in the house, and we decided we wanted to freshen it up. It was put in the 1970s. It still had the same vinyl flooring that was on here. I ripped it out. It was like a sunset yellow pebble stone type, you know, very 70s. And the walls were masonite hardboard, and you can see the design on them. It was like a gold speckled. All the walls in here were like that. It was all masonite hardboard, you can see. And then the ceiling was also masonite hardboard, but just white and glossy, which is pretty much standard for a bathroom anyhow. I mean, or it was, and we decided we're not going to change that. That's acceptable the way it is. One piece tub shower unit, fiberglass, heavy duty, and it's held up, believe it or not. We have changed out the sink and the toilet since then. In fact, here's the toilet I'm going to put back in. I had to pull it up to do the work, and the same way with the vanity. I'll show you that. Those are, oh, maybe the toilet's 10 years old and the vanity's 5, I don't know. Heat for in here is a little fan forced wall heater that you can turn on or off. It is a temperature controlled thermostat, so if you leave it on minimum and it gets cold, it'll turn on automatically, but it's really just in case it gets too cold and if we're not running a wood fire in the house. As you can see, I cut a hole through the floor here a number of years ago, and I have a floor grate on there that's just to allow the warm air to rise. There's no ductwork or anything, but when we've got the wood stoves going, it keeps this bathroom nice and warm. I never have to use the other heater. Basically that's it. I mean, I haven't upgraded the vanity, or the medicine cabinet, excuse me, needs to be modernized. It's the old style. I did replace this once with one just like it because it was the cheapest I could find, but I do want to eventually, I won't do it right now, but later on, I want to get rid of this one, and then I'm going to take this receptacle here. Yeah, you can see my wife was painting, so she two-toned our receptacle. What I want to do is put a double pull, or a double gang box there, excuse me, and put a switch in, because the feed from the receptacle out to the medicine cabinet is already in there, so I can put a switch and then I can have it switched, and I'll put a different medicine cabinet and modernize that. So the electrical work would be minimal to do that, so that's a good thing. Now, what else did I do here? It's going to be hard to see, but what we did is we painted the top half of the masonite hardboard with that gold fleck design. It was all over these walls, so we just painted it with a white semi-gloss interior paint to kind of make it a nice white background. My wife has some plans maybe to do some some creative stuff with various pictures, and she's got some calendar pages from farm scenes and things like that that she thought maybe she'd put on and, you know, lacquer to the wall. We'll see how that turns out, but that's what she wanted. But the bottom half, what I did was, since I just didn't want to keep all the mason, I wanted to spruce it up a little, is I got this is also masonite paneling, the hardboard paneling, but it's a white beadboard. Makes it look like old-fashioned wainscoting. And so the bottom half here, I just cut them in half, 4-foot heights. I've put them on the bottom half. As you can see, I had a piece in a little bit there back by the toilet, but you won't see that the toilet will be there. And then across over to here to the tub. Now, what is going to happen also, there will be a little molding along the top. I'll show you that in another part of this video or later on. That'll go on the top, and on the bottom we're just going to have a 1x3, basically a 1x3 floor molding, base molding. Very simple, very country looking, and I'm going to use the same red theme that we were using throughout much of the rest of the house, that barn red color, so it'll add a little bit of color. My wife picked out this sheet vinyl You can kind of see the design and look there. Fairly neutral, but it's certainly more modern looking than the old gold pebble look that was in here. And that where I'm going to lay out in here, that's one of my next moves. And then we'll start to put everything back together. The rest of the plumbing is still in decent shape. I did have one plumbing problem, of course, when I went to disconnect the sink faucet. The cold water valve there wouldn't completely shut off. I turned it down tight, still wouldn't completely shut off. It was bubbling out. I turned the water off the main to the house finally, and I did have to replace that one. The hot water one was still fine. So they're quarter turn ones, but I guess after a while the gasket wears out or something. It just wouldn't seal tight. So that's plumbing. You always have something goes wrong with your plumbing. I'm hoping I won't have a problem with the toilet. I'll put that back on. When they built this in the 70s, they used heavy-duty 3/4 inch plywood for the floor here. They put it over an existing floor that was here. This was part of an outdoor porch, and then they framed this up as part of that was part of the porch. And then on the inside they put drywall and then the masonite over it, and then it's also got insulation in between the studs. The ceiling was the ceiling of the porch, so this masonite was attached basically to a solid ceiling too. So, and I've insulated very well above it. So it's a nice warm bathroom. This little crank out Anderson window was put in here. We pulled the screen out because we were working in here, but and then the guy who put the bathroom in just framed the window in nicely. So it still works well. It's an Anderson window. You know, those things last forever. So it's nice and thermal, and it does the job. So no need to change there. What I'll probably do is I'll replace the receptacle and cover plate with a white one so that it matches a little better. Light switch there. I had one white cover plate, but I don't have any white switches, so I have to get one for there. The one thing about this bathroom that wasn't modernized, they put the light in here, but it's not a light fan. I had looked at the possibility of doing that at one point and probably should have, but we do have ventilation with the window, so it wasn't as critical. But a light fan would work better there. I'd have to run an exhaust hose above the ceiling out to the side of the house over there, which is no big deal. But the other thing is I'd also have to run a new set of wires down through here because it's a single pole switch with that's 12.2 I believe. I'd need 12.3 for the light fan, unless I wanted to every time I came in turn both the fan and the light on with the same switch. But usually people have a double switch or a double toggle switch, just so that they can either turn one on or both on. So I'd have to do that to upgrade, but that's something I can do later if I decide I want to. I can get above the ceiling here to run wires if necessary. So we're going to put the floor down, and then my sequence is going to be floor down, vanity in place, and then I'm going to start with the base molding that goes between where the vanity is over to the corner where the toilet's going to go, and then this base molding along here. That way then I don't have to fight the toilet to try to get at the molding. And also I've got a corner trim piece to put in there, just a 1/4 round. I'll put that in too before I put the toilet on. But the vanity has to go in because the base molding doesn't run all across the wall. It stops at the vanity butts against the wall, so I need to put the vanity in place so I know how long my molding is going to have to be for that corner. So that'll be my sequence, and then I can finish off the rest of the base molding. The cap molding here for the fake wainscoting, I have some leftover trim from another job. Had to get another piece, so my wife liked the stain color that was on it, so now I need to stain another piece to finish that off. So that might not get done right away, but we'll keep working on it, and I'll come back to you. Okay, well, as you can see, sheet vinyl is down. Not too bad. I had to fool around in a couple spots, and not quite perfect, but that's why you put molding over top of it. So it's nice and laying nice and flat. Now the professional way to do this, of course, is to glue it down. But like I've said before with my other bathroom remodel, I'm not worried about that because I'm going to have both a sink and a toilet that are going to anchor it in place, so it really can't creep anywhere. And also, till I put the trim molding around the base too, that'll help hold it in place so it can't go anywhere. So it's not necessary, I don't think, to do that. And you know, it'll hold pretty well, I believe. So just saving time and money. So I'll come back to you. Next move, put the vanity back in place. Okay, vanity's back where it belongs, and it's all hooked up, as you can see. And it's ready to go. So now, take some measurements, get my... The reason that I think I told you this, the reason that I'm doing it this way, I'm not putting the toilet in yet, is I'm going to put the base molding there, and the corner trim piece in first. That way I'm not fighting around a toilet to be able to get them in. They'll be in with the nailing gun, and they're in, and then I can put the toilet in place, and I don't have to battle the plumbing to do that. So it just made sense. Plus, since this is a butt end with my molding as opposed to a 45 corner, I needed to take a measurement here so I know what size piece I need, because obviously the molding doesn't go behind the vanity. The vanity sits flush against the wall. It just butts up against it, and it will butt up against it on this side as well. So that's my next move. Cut 3 pieces of molding and put them on. 4 actually, if you count the upright piece there. And then I'll be ready to put the toilet on, and then I can finish off the other odds and ends pieces of molding, and then I'll be done for tonight. A few remaining things to do in the bathroom, but I'm not going to worry about it. I just want it to be functional by tonight. So, alright, come back to you. Okay, well, you can see the base molding is pretty much in. Looks pretty good color-wise. And I started to put the trim molding at the top, the cap molding on the fake wainscoting. Again, these were just some leftover scraps I had. I need to fill in there, and then I did get one 8-footer to run across there. So all I really have to finish up yet tonight is to put the toilet back in place, and then I'd say this job's about 90% finished. Alright, I'll come back. Okay, the bathroom is pretty much done. I know we put all our junk back in, but as you can see, I finished off the last piece of molding there. I also put a trim piece of molding, white piece, along the edge of the tub to kind of seal that off from the vinyl flooring there, so no water can slip down in behind. Caulked underneath it so that it would be waterproof, and completed the rest of the molding. So this project is more or less done. Still some odds and ends we'll work on. Like I said, we'll change that receptacle out, make it a 2-gang box with a switch for the medicine cabinet, and then also my wife's going to get a new shower curtain for there too, and maybe some other things to spruce it up. But more or less the bathroom work is now done for just a couple $100. We're able to give it a brand new look. As I said, I can't remember what we paid for the sheet vinyl. That was an Ollie's pickup a few years ago. It's been sitting in storage for a while. Wasn't all that expensive. The beadboard 4x8 sheet, $20 at Home Depot and Lowe's. Lowe's didn't have any, so I went to Home Depot to get some. This cap molding here, I had a few pieces left over from another job, so I only had to buy the one long piece. But I'll tell you what, that was almost 16 bucks just for that one piece, unfinished. I had to stain it. And the 1x3s, 8-footers were like $5-6. So lumber prices right now are insane. Even these little putsy pieces. So you make do with what you can. But other than that, $20 for a gallon of paint for the white on the walls. And I can't remember if there was anything else, just a few little odds and ends. So it wasn't all that expensive to do. You know, if you can spend any kind of money you want on a bathroom, obviously, but we just wanted to do a spruce up, done fairly cheaply. This is country living on a shoestring. So we've got, since we had already changed out the vanity a couple of years ago and the toilet a number of years ago, we didn't replace those. We still have to get a new medicine cabinet, of course, there, and we'll look for a deal on that, I'm sure. And for the receptacle and the switch, that won't be expensive. The cover plate, I'll put white ones on so they match a little better. That's just a couple dollars there. So the whole project to essentially modernize and brighten up the bathroom was really just a couple $100. So just to give you an idea how to do that if you're on a tight budget. Now I'm going to put a few pictures, still pictures, at the end of this video of what this bathroom looked like a couple years ago before any of the remodeling was done. I neglected to show you the before picture with any video because I was just working on it and never thought about showing it until I was into the project. So I'll show you what it looked like at the beginning, at the end of the video, so you can see the transformation. Alright, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share our videos, let other people know about them, and hope you're enjoying your life too if you're living in the country on the shoestring also. Alright, thanks for now.